Thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, Edum, benefits of reforms gradually reaching the poor. First Bank vindicated, arbitration tribunal dismisses GHL's $780 million claim. A revocation of my US visa won't determine or deter me, says Shoyinka. Christopher Kolade lived and ended well, says Bishop. And then federal government sports modernization policy all-inclusive, says Oyetola. What do we have in The Nation?
Okay, so the Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka, has announced that the US government revoked his AB1 and B2 visa for non-immigrants. And he said that he has looked inside his life.
Okay.
All these years, he has not warranted any action or inaction he has not done any action or inaction to warrant revocation, but he thinks it's entirely based on his stance. He has this speech themed Idi Amin in the White House. And he says his critical stance against the President Trump. In the initial first administration of President Trump, he had tore his visa, saying that he didn't support him, he didn't think he would become president. And over time, he had been critical about his non-immigrant stance, all his policies that are not fair. And he said he will continue to do that. He said he has looked into his past history. He said, I don't have any criminal record, not even a misdemeanor, to qualify for the revocation. Have I ever misbehaved towards the United States of America? No.
So.
Do I have a history? Have I gone against the law anywhere? He says no. So he says that he has no resentment towards the U.S. government and its people. He says the reason for this announcement is for the people who expect that he might be coming to America anytime soon. But he welcomes any American to his home if they have anything legitimate to do with him in Nigeria. So I like the fact that when this happens, they don't come and say it's U.S. In the U.S. It cannot happen. It happens everywhere in the world.
Any other story in The Nation?
Yes. So the Lagos State chapter of the All Progressive Congress APC has said Lagos sports investment is economic genius, not sabotage. The spokesperson, Mr. Sheye Oladejo, said yesterday in a statement in Oba, Lagos, and I quote, "We have once again been treated to the comic relief that passes for opposition commentary in Nigeria. This time, the laughable claim that that neglecting Warri, Calabar, Onne, and Port Harcourt ports while spending $1 billion on Lagos ports amounts to economic sabotage." He said the statement and commentary is reckless and that only exposes the opposition's chronic ignorance of basic economics and governance. Yes, he said the allowed opinions are rarely backed by facts, figures, or even a faint understanding of national policy direction. He stated that the federal government, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, has not neglected any other ports, that the $1 billion investment in Lagos Deep Sea Port is part of a nationwide modernization blueprint designed to transform Nigeria into West Africa's premier maritime hub. He also said that it is not a Lagos project, it is a Nigerian project attracting foreign directive investment from China Harbour Engineering and also from Singapore's Tolaram Group, both of whom saw in President Tinubu's vision a business environment where they can invest their billions of dollars.
Okay.
Yes, NDLEA. So the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has warned nightclub owners. We have entered dirty December season, Ember month, that the fund seekers and operators of these nightclubs that are organizing things, hosting and attending drug parties is illegal in Nigeria.
Okay.
The agency has warned that they did this because on the heels of a raid that they carried out, and they found drugs at the party in a club. The club was Proxy Nights Club on 7 Akiadeshola Street, Victoria Island, just beside us here. And they said there were over 100 attendees who were arrested along with the owner, Mike Eze Nwanli Onwogu, alias Pretty Mike. He's been arrested. He was involved in this drug party. So Femi Babafemi, of course, the spokesperson of NDLEA, Director of Media and Advocacy of NDLEA, said that any gathering organized for the purpose of consuming and distributing or abusing illicit substance is an act of criminality, and that drug parties contravene the explicit provision of NDLEA Act and will be treated as a serious narcotic offense.
Yeah, it is.
So if you are going to a party and you see them distributing drugs, leave.
Yeah,
so that
stay
you don't say, I did not know, I was just a small girl, they
didn't know
invited me to
was
come for
there.
the party. There's no, I did not know there, because these 100 people that were attending were all
Stay
gathered.
away. We'll be taking a short break now. When we come back, we'll continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. Moving on now to the Daily Sun. Major headline: Soyinka shocked by U.S. visa revocation, says he's been asked to reapply. First Bank vindicated, arbitration tribunal dismisses GHL's $718 million claim. Proceed of crime, reps seek non-conviction forfeiture, whistleblowers protection. Over 170 foreigners apply for Nigerian citizenship. State of States 2025, Enugu emerges likeliest state to survive independent FAC allocations. Anambra, Ribadu promises rapid, uncompromising response to troublemakers. The National Assembly facing security threats, says Reps panel chair. What do we have in the Sun?
Okay, I have the 170 foreigners apply for visa. So the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, was, in a meeting with the Advisory Committee on Nigerian Citizenship. This committee is made up of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, the reps of some representatives of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Justice, representative of the SSS and the Nigerian Immigration Service, as well as the Director of Citizenship and Business and Legal Services of the Ministry of Interior. And so the committee's business is to scrutinize all applicants who want to become Nigerians or have Nigerian citizenship, either through naturalization or through other means. But he says that they have some applicants now, and he's charging the committee to vet every application and ensure that only individuals proving of integrity and good character are considered worthy of Nigerian citizenship. He says Nigeria remains the greatest asset of its citizens, and all stakeholders must safeguard the nation's integrity and greatness.
But this conversation needs to be, is a hot topic, because if a man, a Nigerian man marries a non-Nigerian, it's easier for the non-Nigerian woman to become a Nigerian. Yeah,
my sister-in-law, the matter is still on
They're
ground.
Still on it. Okay.
Yes,
so there are two sides to it.
Two of them are not easy.
We need an expert for that conversation.
Okay, so I have another story that is very interesting. Feedback we've gotten from Budget is that Enugu State is the #1 state likely to survive if they remove FAC, that's the allocation.
That means they're generating.
Fiscal. They are physically. It's not physically. It's fiscal.
Fiscal.
They are fiscal strong. Their policies are good. The top 5 states, of course, Lagos will be there. Enugu, #1, Lagos, Abia, Anambra, and Kwara. Ogun State shocked me because as an Ijebu girl, I'm thinking that
they have a lot of
states is close to Lagos with all the things that the industries there. Something is wrong in how the budget is being managed. But the worst states that will not survive if they don't have any form of allocation: Yobe, Benue, Jigawa, Kogi, Imo, rank as the least viable.
You didn't mention Delta, Sha?
No. Delta is not in the list.
We go fight.
That cannot be now. That cannot happen.
It cannot happen.
Yes. So the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill seeking to provide for enhanced whistleblowers protection and strengthen the legal framework for non-conviction forfeiture of assets obtained from proceeds of crime. The proposed legislation, which is seeking to amend the Proceeds of Crime Recovery and Management Act 2022, is sponsored by Chairman House Committee on Navy, Yusuf Gagdi. Gagdi, while leading debate on the bill plenary yesterday, said the proposed legislation was aimed at closing the gaps in the Proceeds Crime Recovery and Management Act 2022, which was enacted to provide a legal framework for the recovery, management, and disposal of proceeds of crime in the country. He explained that the gaps in the extant law have limited the effectiveness of the act in facilitating non-conviction-based forfeiture, protecting whistleblowers, safeguarding witnesses, and ensuring expeditious judicial process. But the lawmaker also argued that the scope that closes the gap will also enhance accountability and expand the operational scope of the act for it to align with the international best practices.
Okay.
So that's a good one.
All right, now, Nigerian Tribune, reps probe NFF over alleged misuse of FIFA and CAF grants. Violence will be met with strong, uncompromising response. NSA, we have received threats from terrorists to bomb National Assembly Reps Committee chairman. Growing concern over CBN's bid to control Nigeria's fixed income market. And scientists turned flower fragrance into mosquito killer.
Wow.
That's the one I read.
So yeah, tell us.
So this team of scientists were able to create what they call a bioweapon. So this floral scented fungus is that they created is supposed to attract mosquitoes and approach and infect them and then eventually kill them.
Wow.
So they said by exploiting mosquitoes' attraction to flowers, the researchers engineered a new strain of metahizium fungus and that releases a sweet aroma similar to the real blooms to draw the insects, infect them, ultimately killing them. And the scientists were inspired by the natural fungi that emits a pleasant chemical known as longiphelon, which they disclosed would attract mosquitoes. Building on that idea, they created the fungus that acts as a lethal perfume for the pests, offering a promising tool, and they named the writer of this article that released this new research as Professor Raymond St. Liga, the studies author and the entomologist of University of Maryland, who explained this. My fear is how safe is it for us human? It's innovative, really, big one. It's a big win.
It should be safe now.
Yes.
We hope so.
5 years safety, 10 years safety. I was reading recently about
They will still be testing.
how this injection for
vaccination,
contraceptive injection has been
How
gotten
adverse
very
effects.
long term.
Yeah.
So now they're suing Pfizer abroad, a class action. It's very interesting to read.
That
about
one, I heard that one a very
2,500.
long time. So I told myself, I'm not going to do any.
No, it wasn't this Pfizer one. There was suspicion of other ones that
One
now
gave
they
me
have-
ovarian cyst now.
They now have data backing it up. Let me take the
Yes.
story from the 16th Emir of Kano, His Royal Highness Muhammadu Sanusi, as well as the founder of Stanbic IBTC, that's Dr. Atedo Peterside. Both of them were speaking, and they said that Sanusi said that we won't see any real impact of all the reforms this government is doing until there's a deliberate cut in the cost of governance. And as part of what he was saying, the duo, they spoke at the Oxford Global Think Tank Leadership Conference and a book launch in Abuja, where top policymaker experts gathered to discuss leadership and reforms within Nigeria. And the Minister of Finance was there. However, the President, Minister of Finance said, that's what they do, say that financial policies being done by the President is yielding results. But the Emir of Kano said, why would a country, why do we need 48 ministers? Why do we need long convoys and endless travels? So in his remark, he also mentioned the fact that there is a failure to understand the economics sometimes leads to misplaced expectation. And there's a role for central bank and a role for Ministry of Finance. A whole lot was said, but I also seriously agree that we need to really cut government expenditure to improve fiscal
The barest
performance.
minimum. Yes.
Yeah, 48 ministers feels very huge.
Yeah, it is very huge. So that people who are getting into positions
They
of
don't need to work
authority
and work.
are going there to serve,
Yes.
not because of the many benefits that they will receive for the rest of their lives. Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we'll move on to the topics for today. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.